Hello everybody and welcome to another knockoff review. Now you may or may not remember I did a review of the God-01 figure from TF Dream Factory some time ago. It's one of the first full figures that they produced. Now I sold that figure a while back, but I found this one searching through the Taobao listings. This is the JTFR Jetfire special upgrade formulation version. Basically, this is a limited release where they modified the torso slightly and they modified this kind of area around here as well, and they made the upgrade kit which could interact with this particular model. I did buy the upgrade kit on its own and tried to join that with the regular Jetfire, and you couldn't do it. Certain things couldn't peg in and certain things wouldn't unscrew. So I added this to my want list over at Toys and I managed to secure one. They found me one, which is pretty darn awesome. It comes packaged in a dual clamshell. We get the set of instructions that we got with the original, the Decepticon Skyfire Energy Warrior making a comeback. But this time we also get an additional baggie with the axe in, and we get the piece which is normally located on his chest, and we also get a rather large poster as well, which I believe is original artwork. Love what they've done there. And on the back it's basically got the upgrade set with the original, the accessories, basically how we turn our Jetfire figure into that legendary warrior that he was in the show. Now, out of the package, he has a really nice paint scheme. Done a nice job with that. Unfortunately, they did keep the electrics.
Jetfire's my name.
He wasn't Scottish.
Jetfire's my name.
That's terrible, isn't it? But yeah, they've done a really nice job with that paint. As you can see, the biggest change comes to when you detach these accessories. With the original, they were screwed on. They've changed that out, so they are now tabs. So there's tabs in the arm. The arms are actually flipped around, so there's no longer big gaps and voids in the arms, and it works really well. They attach and detach really cleanly. You know, for the age, this figure wasn't bad with the initial release by Hasbro and Takara. The 2-pack had the better paint scheme. I still can't help but feel this didn't get the love that it deserved. I imagine a lot of people bought Jetfire just to have him fully combined up. And I think that maybe that's why Dream Factory kind of revisited him, to give us a decent Jetfire, one that isn't literally just an upgrade kit. Even painted the undersides there. They've got this kind of rustic look to those pistons. We get 2 parts to his axe. They're just going to tab in together. Really nice Cybertronian details on there. Another chopping and changing piece. We get to untab the wheels from the base of his stick, and using those same tabs you can then tab that axe in as well. Now these are a little bit loose on mine. Not really sure if I can do anything about that, kind of thicken it up maybe or apply a little bit of heat. But that's the axe. He now has a decent weapon. He still has the gun, which can be tabbed in on his arm, but as well as that gun, he now has an axe. He doesn't have to walk around holding a stick. Now let's take a look at the added accessories. We get the leg panels with the built-in missiles. We get tabs that slot and tab in on those arms, kind of finishing it off again with that same kind of battle-worn paint scheme. And we have the flaps which go in over the shoulders. Again, this is something that you couldn't do with the original, because you had to remove the screw from up here, and there's a new peg that they've built into that. So that again is something that's completely new. We get these wing panels which come and sit over the back of Jetfire, again with this kind of silver trim along the outside, carrying on that battle damage look. And we get this whole new back panel piece which clips in, finishing off his spine and in turn finishing off that legendary look. Right, now to get the accessories off, with this one you just literally detach like we did with the other side. Is pegged in there rather firmly, but it does just untab. These sections here, they actually now untab as well. This is a whole new section that they've built into this area, so you need to remove that from both. Yes, I know this is parts forming, but that's kind of the idea with this piece. It's kind of part and parcel. This back panel here is tabbed in just behind here, so you want to just work that piece off. It works exactly the same. You've still got this button here which gives you the additional audio. Right, to add the new pieces on, let's start off with that new back panel using these same tabs. You want to put that over and put that over and push and lock that into position. You have these, just keeping this pointed section facing backwards. That's just going to slide in and finish off that back area. This can then come down like so. Rotate the arm outwards and rotate the hand around so that we have this peg here. We can now add this on like so, and then tab the forearm panels in. You have these marks on the legs, and these just basically correspond with what we already have on there, and that just finishes off the legs. And here we have him fully transformed up with the kit added on. I think I've got that right. I was never too sure about the forearms, whether they're meant to go outside, inside, inside, outside. Definitely looks better with the axe, and he really does slim down. Now that's a lot of parts forming to take on board and a lot of adding on to an already existing figure, but I like what the kit does. It definitely gives us a better version of Jetfire, in my opinion. He definitely looks cleaner. I love how that back especially tidies up there. It's a lot smoother and a lot more show accurate. But we do have the Studio Series Jetfire being released shortly. A new version of Prime is coming with it as well. So what's to say that somebody like Wei Zhang or Black Mamba aren't going to oversize that Jetfire and see how that looks? I mean, don't get me wrong, scale-wise, I think this looks incredibly good alongside the Studio Series. Both official and slightly oversized. I've just noticed I've broken my oversized Prime. I've broken one of his smokestacks off. Oh well, can't win them all. He was cheap and cheerful. But yeah, I think Jetfire actually looks pretty darn good alongside the likes of Prime there. As for the likes of maybe the MPM Prime, unfortunately I don't think that quite works. He does come across as too small. But that being said, wouldn't it be amazing if somebody was to invent a kit which converted all of these loose parts that we get off that Jetfire into working jet-powered armour for the MPM Prime? And just because I had him to hand, this is Dream Factory's first Transformers compared to one of their latest. They have come a long way and they have really built up an exceptional reputation for themselves. Now I'm not going to bother getting him transformed back up into his jet mode because you have to take all of those lavish accessories back off him. Unfortunately, he does still transform nicely though. It was just a pointless journey, unfortunately. I will include a link to my God-01 original review just up here somewhere so you can check out that transformation. But I like what they've done. If you don't already own a Jetfire, then I believe, in my opinion, this is the definitive version of the toy. Love the little Cybertronian texts and just those little subtle tweaks on everything. The paint is sublime. Ratchets are nice and tight. Everything moves as it should, and he looks absolutely glorious in doing so. Oh, such a nice ratchet. Still, would have liked a pivot on these feet. It was never one there. There always should have been, because it would really have helped with his stance. But beggars cannot be choosers. If you get a chance to get a Jetfire, I highly recommend this being the Jetfire that you purchase, at least until we have the Studio Series 1 in hand, see how that fares scale-wise, and see what those bootleg companies do after its initial release. Thanks again to Sir Toys for making this review possible. I will include a link to this product on Sir Toys, but it is few and far between. There's only 1,000 made with all of this paint deco, etc. So if they can get another one, they will. If they can't, they can't. Until next time, from myself and Jetfire, thanks for watching. Goodbye.